Right, let's have a look at XRP then. So I've been wrong on this quite a few times. I've been right on it as well a few times. So let's see what is likely to happen, or what is in the realms of possibility to happen with this chart. So we had some big bold moves, huge moves actually from its big downfall. So it crashed all the way down to this level, a huge crash, maybe one of the biggest crashes in the top coins actually, if not the biggest crash over the space of a daily chart. But great opportunity to pick it up, which is what definitely happened here. It got picked up big time. So there's a lot of people that pick up XRP as opportunistic times like that, and I believe that's what's happened here. The problem I've got now with it is that we're still beneath this Ichimoku cloud, and the cloud did have a cross here to the down at this level here, which is beneath the cloud and after the drop. Looks as though if we carry on making our way, edging our way to the top of the cloud, if we could break above it, then there's a chance that this could reverse, and actually this was just a fake signal brought about by its massive collapse in price, which could quite honestly be what happened. So from that red candle to the bottom of there, that was 32% down over the space of a week. Tragic, terrible, awful, but gave people the opportunity to pick it up at this bottom level, which I think was what's happened here. So what I'm looking to see now is just to edge our way above this cloud. Now we do have a little break in the cloud here, which means that actually over the next few days there is a chance that we can break above it, and if we do break above it, then we're going to have a cross on the Ichi cloud with the baseline over the conversion line that might take place above the cloud, which would be an extremely bullish signal, and one that might hold some relevance to positive gains. We're looking like we've still got some a bullish divergence to come with this coin, and the RSI is just making higher highs and higher lows. So it actually does look okay. What I have a few concerns over is this cross here, that this is usually a signal of continuation of a certain type of move. So if we fail to make a higher high, obviously this one here being 32.5 cents, if we fail to make that new high and pull back over this next week or so, then we might be revisiting these lows again and perhaps lower. I did make a video about a week ago saying that I do expect to see an XRP of 20 cents or lower again. That was based on this signal here and the fact that we're underneath the cloud, and obviously this whole chart doesn't look great. It looks pretty bad. It looks really bad when you zoom right out of it and have a look, just look at the state of it. I mean, it does look very bad. Obviously making new lows for the year, so there is a chance that it can push up and break above this cloud over this next week, and that's what we really want it to do. Probably at that point, if we can get above the cloud, might see some pullbacks and rejections at 31.5 to 32 to 33 cent is where we're probably looking to see some pullbacks on that. But if we do make it up to this 200 simple, that is going to be considered a higher high, which in some way would be definitely a positive thing. But the fact is, we came down so fast so soon on the XRP, breaking new all-time lows for the year. It shouldn't be too hard to continue making higher lows on this one. My concern is that if we fail to make a higher high, then we might trickle back down to this level again. Also, there is a chance when we look at Bitcoin that we will break down on Bitcoin as well. My overall expectation of Bitcoin is to break down to perhaps as low as this level here, which would be around about 6,500. But in all fairness, if we do break down that low, there is a chance that we could trickle down over time as well, even lower than that. But that's a long way off at the moment. What's more likely to happen is that Bitcoin is going to be bouncing around this level that we are right now, similar to the way we did when we were dancing around the 10,000 area. We stayed on this area for weeks before we actually broke right down, and we found little wicks in. We had big bounces from the bottom of the wick, and we came back down, wicking into it, eventually making candle bodies into it, breaking down, buying back up, wicking, trickling down, and then complete crash. So I kind of see the same sort of pattern taking place here. But again, in all fairness, you know, these wicks have been bought up quite quick from this support zone, and especially this one where we had our first candle body close within it. We had a big buyback from it. Also, we did have a strong rejection from it. So my expectation is to be dancing around this level for perhaps another week before we either break up or break down. I think we're probably going to break down from it first, coming down, closing wicks and candlesticks into this area, buybacks, sell-offs, buybacks, and then maybe take a leg down into the 7,000s. So bearing that in mind, I think XRP is going to be vulnerable to those moves, as are a lot of the coins, because that is going to start to show bearish sentiment across the board. Even though Bitcoin is certainly not bearish when you look at it on giant, when you pull back, it's not the same way that you look at XRP when you pull back from it. It's almost, you could probably say it's quite, in a way, the opposite. We're still up massively for the year. So by no means is it a bearish chart, but it's certainly, you know, over the last few months it's definitely bearish over the last few months. Huge consolidation after this huge move, parabolic top. You expect some kind of pullback from that. A few problems that we do have with Bitcoin is that we have this incoming death cross with the green EMA, the 50 EMA and the 200 EMA. That might, where's that likely to take place? If we carry on like this, by the end of the month, the beginning of November, we would have had that death cross, and that would be tragic for all coins, and everything will be impacted by that one, because that would really kind of start to, we'd have to consider the fact that we're going to come back down to square one with Bitcoin, meaning that altcoins are going to be, you know, more than square one. A lot of those will be right back to the dark ages. But, you know, all this is theoretical at the moment. Simple terms with XRP, we are on the verge of being able to break above this cloud, and if we do, we might have continuation all the way up to make a higher high at this level here. We'll call it 33 cent before a pullback, and that would be definitely a good sign for XRP, because it would then be a higher high, which is definitely what we need. Making higher lows, but we definitely need to have a higher high. You saw how this move was big and bold and great, but we did have a huge, massive sell-off as a result of that. Very scary coin to be trading in. I don't like to trade it. I did buy a lot of it back here, and I was trading it on Bybit, but now I'm too scared with it. I'm just leaving it, but I did manage to accumulate quite a lot, so I'm quite happy with that. But for the moment, it's a scary situation, so we'll just have to wait and see and keep our eyes on Bitcoin. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed that. Leave a comment down below, and have a nice weekend, everybody. Take it easy.